Welcome back to your weekly roundup of everything that happened in Zenless Zone 0, where we will cover everything that you missed inside and outside of the game. It's kinda weird having seen the 2.3 livestream so early, because it feels like unfortunately Orphe's already been forgotten about with the new agents in 2.3 and even beyond with the new agents in 2.4 and 5 even. But anyway, starting off with in-game news, it is a new month of October, so a very spooky month indeed, which now that I think about it, maybe that's why we're getting a Spook Shack patch now all of a sudden. But anyway, more importantly though, a new month means that all of the in-game shops have been reset. So be sure to buy out your discounted tapes in the Signal shop as well as the upgrade materials over at Scott Outpost. And then, starting on the 9th of October, we will be having double drops for combat simulation stages. So that way you can earn more upgrade materials. And of course, on Friday, we have our regularly scheduled Shiyu defense reset. The buff this time around will increase agents' electric damage and fire damage by 15%, and their sheer force damage by 20%. Also, when an aftershock or an ultimate attack hits an enemy, agents with the attack or rupture specialties will gain 80% crit damage for 15 seconds. Obviously, this new buff is to benefit the current Orphe and Seed users, while still being able to benefit MANATO next week once that new banner does arrive. Speaking of new banners though, with the combat simulation this week, one recommendation is to of course start your pre-farming for the upcoming characters in patch 2.3, especially since we are going to be getting 3 of them. So save up those Dennies and those XP mats. With the first being MANATO and Lucia coming next week, a clear choice is obviously support and rupture chips to upgrade their levels, with ether skill chips for Lucia and fire skill chips for MANATO. And as for their core skills, they will actually be using the new Notorious Hunt and the new Expert Challenge drops that we will be getting in 2.3. So don't stress too much about pre-farming for those. Also, when it comes to the new stuff in patch 2.3, we've already got some projected amounts for how many polychromes and PULS we will be getting in patch 2.3. For now, this is just speculative based on the number of events and the dailies that we will be getting, but as a complete free-to-play user, you can expect roughly 16 encrypted tapes as well as 14,000 polychrome, for a total of just over 100 tapes during patch 2.3. But if you see this and you think that that is still not going to be enough for your pool plans, why not try using LD Shop, especially considering you can get top-up options cheaper through LD Shop than you would in-game, with discounts of up to nearly 22% for new users. For example, purchasing an internet membership through LD Shop costs only $3.87 compared to the $5 if you were to purchase it in-game. And topping up is really easy. All you need is your in-game user ID and your server. Once you fill those in, you can click on top up, choose your payment method, and within seconds your order is completed and you can see the rewards in-game. And yes, you can even get the double bonus for first time top-ups. LD Shop is a trusted and authorized service that is 100% safe and legitimate. Also, if you use my link in the description when you register on LD Shop, you will also get a 5% off coupon to use. And if you spend over $80, you will also gain a VIP membership, which can earn you free internet memberships and regular coupons. Once again, you can check out the description and the pinned comment to start saving with LD Shop. And then moving on to social media news, since it is a new month, like we mentioned, that means a new calendar. This time around featuring Lucia. As usual, there is a mobile and desktop version of this wallpaper, which is free to download using the link below. Speaking of, funnily enough, technically speaking, we do have some new drip marketing, or well, it's new with an asterisk, because right after the 2.3 livestream ended, they released another set of drip marketing for Lucia, this time around though, with her new updated model. As for the drip marketing for patch 2.4, I'm sure we will be getting that sometime next week once patch 2.3 starts on October 15 or 16, depending on where you are in the world. But on that calendar though, you can mark out some birthdays. Like for example, Lycan's birthday, which was recently over this weekend on October 4th. So happy birthday to Lycan and anybody else who has a birthday in the near future. And then next we have a Twitter event for Orphe and Magus called Crash Command. Magus really likes teasing Orphe by coming up with fake tactical plans that Orphe has to obey as she is the leader. For example, Operation Dating. And so, by following the official Twitter account and also reposting the linked tweet, as well as leaving a comment on that tweet with what tactical operation you think would be good to tell Orphe to do, you stand a chance to win a long bamboo plushie or a reflective character badge. But otherwise, again, as per usual, not much happening this week as it is winding down to the end of the patch, which means it's over to the speculation zone already. And first things first, great news for gooners around the globe. If you know about the magic window over at the beach resort and how it can remove some pieces of clothing when looked at at a specific angle, another spot has been found over in the HIA that does a similar effect. So basically, if you aren't aware, using certain characters and walking up to the wall means that parts of their clothing will disappear. For example, Belle's white shirt, or some of the inner clothing on Yishan's skin, or Evelyn's white shirt as well. Now, this, technically speaking, is nothing really new. It's just that it's a different angle, right? At the HIA instead of the beach resort. But I thought it would be a very nice reminder since we are getting a new Vivian skin next patch. And I'm just saying, what parts do you think, if there are any, that would become invisible in this view? That is truly a question for the ages. But something I'm sure that we are all curious about though is what exactly will the patch 2.4 drip marketing look like? Yes, we've seen 4 new characters shown off, but who will we get and when? There are the 3 members from Krampus and then also Ye Xingwang, who, let's be real, is 99% going to be the Void Hunter, or at least on something similar to that type of level. So I feel like it is almost 100% certain that we can expect to see Ye Xingwang as a headliner for patch 2.4. Especially because, remember, the 2.4 patch will be running over Christmas, which in theory is when most people will have all their Christmas bonuses or extra money to spend. So what better time to try and milk the player base with the new OP Void Hunter? But then the question becomes, what about the other banner? Part of me wants to say that Zhao, because we've already seen her in the game, so it feels like she might be the most quote-unquote ready character to release. But I do have a very funny possibility that I would like to propose. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be true, but I know we're all assuming that Banyue is a guy, based on the muscular build, and of course, when the devs were talking about a martial artist fighter that they were working on, they referred to them as a he. But I mean, hey, we thought Big Seed was going to be a guy when the big mech was first revealed, and then look what happened there. But anyway though, hypothetically speaking, what if they do something very similar to patch 1.4, with 2.4, where they instead have both banners running simultaneously across the entire patch? Once again, this means that Ye Xingwang, the potential Void Hunter, has a longer banner, giving people more time to convince their parents to use their credit card to pull for her. And then, what if, maybe, they give away a Banyue for free like they did with Haramasa? The classic male curse. There always has to be some sort of catch when it comes to them, right? Either they become an A rank, or they're sandwiched between 2 other banners that completely overshadow them in terms of popularity. Otherwise though, something that I'm sure won't cause any extra arguments, of course. But coming back around to MANATO and the curse of males once again, I don't know how many people caught it, but in one of the posts that recapped the 2.3 livestream on the official Zenless Zone Zero Hoyo Lab page, when showing off the new engines for Lucia, Yadhari and MANATO, the visual image of the engines had MANATO's engine as an S rank engine. Now, maybe that was just somebody copy-pasting the template of the previous 2, or maybe someone forgot to change what was actually an S rank to an A rank. Unfortunately though, I don't think we will ever know the outcome, but it is something to consider, which I think is very funny. But for now though, we will just have to wait and see what the patch 2.4 drip marketing looks like to see who we get. It is kind of important since ideally there are some characters you want to pull in either 2.3 or 2.4 to get that Vivian swimsuit skin. Otherwise, thank you all for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video, liking, commenting and subscribing is greatly appreciated. So until next time, bye bye.